Hello everyone, welcome back. Another reminder day, miscommunication. And what do I want to point out with that? Well, the cause of the fact that we cannot come together as humanity is miscommunication. And I'd like to explain a little bit how this actually happens. The causes of that and what keeps us basically apart and most people disconnected from each other, from others. And one thing is cynicism, being cynical, becoming cynical. This is like poison. There's a lot of, well, everyone has their own journey, so most journeys are not always easy or pleasant and have a lot of bumps in the road, especially down here. Because you're going to collect a certain understanding, a certain piece of information that you need for your bigger puzzle by going through certain events, certain situations. Here, the reality has been one that has been basically at the mercy of fear. So it's like under the umbrella of fear. So a lot of that's why, well, everyone has similar or the same, but of another variant of the same problem. There are not that many, so it's a finite number. It's just the variations, the intensity differ, and things like that. As to experience this kind of horrible, negative, whatever, things like that. And for a lot of people, when those things happen, they basically shut down in different ways, and most people choose the path of cynicism. But the path of cynicism is a path of basically shutting down the connection to eternal life, to source, to light. And it's poison. It's poison for yourself, it's poison for the others, for everything. You cannot grow anything on that land. Cynicism is poison, period. In order to come back from that, or whatever you lost your faith in a higher power, or that things can be better, or whatever, the way to do that is to regain your innocence. Innocence is not naivety or stupidity. Innocence is the way to open the door, to unlock the door. Innocence is a return to an original state of understanding, or that everything or whatever we see comes from a higher state of things, from a higher truth. And in understanding that, you start to restore that connection with higher source, higher self source, ultimately. It's a process, and it's something that you do every day, every moment, with your choices in your life. Whatever events you're going through, good, bad, pleasant, unpleasant, you always have this possibility to choose whatever direction you want to take things, or whatever you want to believe about a certain event. As in, like, how this will affect you, in turn, how this will affect you after what you decide is true or not true about a certain thing, a certain event, a certain situation. So opening the door is about restoring innocence in yourself, and this is a process. This is one of the first things that people lose here, and this is not necessarily about whatever sexuality, although I explain in other videos a lot of the sexuality or things like this that are expressed here, whatever, in this area. It's mostly distorted, and it has lost its meaning, its true meaning. So it's very easy to lose yourself in various things, but you can always find yourself home if you restore that thing inside you. And it's simply a choice. I know that there's a huge mass of teachings and teachers that are this genuine, and this is not about me trying to just be negative about other people, other things, other people's teachings and things like that. It's about understanding that discernment it's another thing that you have to rebuild inside yourself to to see beyond words, because there are words that lead to true change, to higher knowledge, to higher understanding, and there are words and talk and just a lot of that it's just sterile, and it's just like it's lost in intellectualism, and it's the analysis of analysis, and it's not productive, and it's not bringing progress to anyone. Really, it's just, okay, someone is trying to establish themselves in this impermanent reality, to feel like, okay, I can have some power, some whatever in this reality to do something. Also, there is the fear of this, we are at the level where we still have to survive in this reality, make money, survive. There's nothing wrong to have those things, do those things, but it's like you have to always wonder, like, at what cost? What are we actually here for? So when you remember that we are actually here to, well, at least some of us have remembered or are in the process of remembering that, then you choose to do things differently. So then there's, like I said, there are actions, there are words that actually lead to true action, to action that matters, that actually will change things. And there's just things that are lost they're just the power, because there's no recognition of a higher order, a higher understanding. Even if people talk about a higher understanding and a higher order, there's no understanding of the things that I call the distortion and the virus of this reality. Unless you become aware of that, then it's just, that doesn't exist for you. So of course you're still in that loop. But if the codes inside you tell us, no, there's more, look deeper, then you will discover. And like I said, you have to have that inside yourself, restore that innocence, to go deeper, to really get to the bottom of things. The other problem, like I said, is the fact that people don't, well, in this, lost in like intellectualism and like, let's talk just to talk. It's about like not recognizing, not acknowledging a higher order of things. All the talk about like self-improvement, do things better, do better at life. There's nothing wrong with that, but like I said, they are just don't really connect with the higher order of things. It's like we're disconnected from that, and we can do whatever we want. And it's true, but at the same time, it's not, because you're at a lower level in energy, and you come to play this game, that obviously it's not really easy, and you come here with deep level of amnesia, and you're trying to put yourself together. I mean, your understanding and many other things in order to get yourself up and high and above this level of reality, which is changing either way. But it's very easy to get stuck and trapped in it, especially when you, like I said, those events, negative things, whatever, well, they are meant to actually deter you and derail you and basically knock you down and making you go to sleep, especially when you start to wake up and when you start to do the right thing. That even it becomes even more increasingly obviously that something wrong. It's like, so I'm doing the right thing, like really I'm doing the right thing, so why am I being slapped? Why am I the one being punished? And then you understand that, oh wait, this reality is not that simple. It's not just like, oh, fluffy and like, ooh, airy fairy things, and we get to the higher reality without any problem, just like that. No, and there's things in this level of reality, of existence, that you have to become aware, and you have to deal with them, and you have to at some point have to face these things. And that's why I always insist on the cleaning process, because that's the main thing that you need to do. It's the only thing that really works, but it's not easy, and it's not something, like I said, that you do from time to time, and it's not like a hobby or like a nice thing that we say about. I mean, we talk about nice things here and do nothing about. No, it's about doing real work, and that's painful, tedious, and at some point won't make any sense, and it will frustrate you. You will get into more unbearable situation. But I mean, because that is how it's meant to be. I mean, the distortion is meant here to keep you down under a certain ceiling, so you don't go further, because like I said, there's a certain amount of whatever life that wants to keep this life at a certain frequency where it can actually still collect harness energy from those that are lost in all these games of life here. That's how they maintain life, because they lost the connection, the direct connection to actually experience a different reality and how life actually can be beyond a certain level. So ask yourself, if you are one of those people that are actually lost in cynicism and things are the way they are. It's like, if you really want to go back and find your way back, you have to question yourselves, like, do I want to hear what is comfortable for me, or do I really want to hear the truth? And the truth is not always something that is comfortable, or it's in the box that you've imagined that's how it's going to be, look like, sound like. The truth is the truth, and it will show up in the best way for someone to actually have access to it. And like I said before, you have to give yourself permission to let go of certain things that you say, oh, I know about this, and no. Allow yourself to understand that whatever you picked up in this life at some point, at least if you consider yourself you're on the spiritual path, allow yourself, give yourself permission to get rid of, to leave behind certain teachings, certain things that come from a certain level in energy as an awareness, and they only were supposed to guide you to get to the next clue. And later is even beyond these clues, because beyond a certain level you'll discover that most of these things are not true or not entirely true, but that's the best that you could get to a point where you can actually, you get yourself into the point when you do the work, because that's the most important thing. And then as you do the work, really do the work, and you start to see progress and results in yourself, you discover, because higher self-knowledge and stuff like start to open inside yourself, and it's like, whoa, that's not, whoa, I thought that, no, only this part. And but I thought that that's how it was supposed to be, but what it actually was, okay, so but this takes time, this takes work, and like I said, you cannot continue being cynical on this path, and you cannot lose yourself in sterile communication and the analysis of the analysis and things that just keep things moving in circles round and round and lead nowhere. That you can't do that. When you discover something true, then implement that, then go to the bottom of it, like really deep, and then on to the next level, because the next level will open itself naturally, and then you'll know, oh, so I'm here, okay, so I need to work on this now, and then revisit many other levels. That's the problem. That's why we cannot come together. There is disconnect. This is the disconnect that it's happening in people and in how we communicate. We're interacting, and we create this reality by having all this distortion in most people, and everyone working or interacting with others from their level of understanding, and mostly from fear. So trying to maintain a certain position, status or thing, instead of like, but I'm actually looking for the truth, and I want to get out of this limited box and this fear, actually. So going beyond fear, it's about that. So, and it's not easy. Yeah. I hope this was interesting. See you next time. Ciao. So you have to pay attention to what you've inherited, not just what you're doing in this, because the first thing you